Greetings, beloved ones. I am Mira of the Pleiadian High Council. I reach out to you with an open, grateful heart during this pivotal moment on Earth. The waves of light from your sun in your month of July carry one primary purpose: to ignite the divine sun seed within you. This is the eternal spark of source that lives in your heart, what sages across time have called the inner divine child or golden ember of spirit. You could say that with the beginning of this new cycle, the countdown to the main event has officially begun. As this inner light stirs to life, you will find you no longer need to struggle for recognition or force your dreams into being. Instead, synchronicity will begin to swirl around you naturally. Just as that ancient star hovered over the sacred birth, the new light in you will magnetize support and blessings wherever you go. With this in mind, the number one focus for every starseed this month is to prepare a quiet, loving inner cradle for your cosmic ember. Devote yourself to creating moments of stillness and receptive peace so that your newborn light can settle and grow. You might build this inner cradle through simple daily rituals. For example, waking before sunrise to sit in silence and listen to the world, or stepping outside at dusk without any devices so you can fully feel the evening energies. Even gently placing your bare feet on the earth and breathing until your heartbeat aligns with the earth's gentle thrum can help. What you do matters less than the sincerity of your stillness. As you stabilize in this silent, expectant space, you will start to sense an ancient caravan of blessings drawing nearer. Modern-day wise ones arriving in the form of unexpected help, generous opportunities, and solutions appearing as if by magic. These supportive gifts will orbit your life effortlessly when your inner light is calm and cradled, just as the gifts of old followed the sacred star. This surge of photons bathing Earth is unlike anything we have witnessed in recorded history. Our galactic teams report that a new ultraviolet light wave, emanating from the great central sun and cascading through your sun's corona, is now sweeping across Earth in regular pulses and rapidly raising the vibration of every being. With each burst of this light, several times a day, your cells and energy field are bathed in higher frequencies, and the effect is cumulative. You might notice that aspects of your life which once felt solid or important are becoming fluid or even falling away. Memories you considered part of who you are, social masks you thought you needed, even job titles or roles you took pride in may start to feel strangely irrelevant. Do not be alarmed as these old layers soften and release. They are dissolving into a kind of bioplasma, so that the truer architecture of your soul can emerge. In other words, the illusions of who you were told to be are melting away, allowing the authentic light of your true self to come forward. The High Council has observed that the only sustainable way to navigate this acceleration is to cultivate stillness within motion. By this, we mean creating intentional pauses and gentle awareness even as the day moves swiftly around you. Several times a day, remember to slow down consciously. Switch off your devices for a minute, lean back against something living, a tree if possible, and take slow, deep breaths until you feel your shoulders drop and your exhale flows naturally. These simple acts of slowing down, even a minute or two of mindful breathing, expand your cells and nervous system, allowing the incoming photon data to anchor in you without overload. Make no mistake, the influx of higher light and inspiration will reach you no matter what, but only a grounded, centered vessel can translate these energies into clear thoughts, kind words, wise deeds, or brilliant inventions that serve the whole. Therefore, give yourself regular moments of interior quiet this month. This is not a luxury but literal maintenance for the crystalline light body you are building. Think of it as strengthening the pillars of your inner temple so that ever greater divine light can safely make its home within you. alongside these cosmic waves, another personal process is underway for each of you. Every human carries a soul blueprint, an encoded itinerary of experiences and gifts your higher self planned before you were born. July's high frequencies strongly activate this inner map, tugging you toward any incomplete lessons or hidden talents that seek fulfillment. Because of this, you may find your energy and interest shifting in surprising ways. One day you could feel inexplicably fatigued or need extra sleep at odd times, a sign that your body is integrating changes and recalibrating your path. Another day you might wake up inspired, energized by a sudden idea or the urge to revive a long-dormant project. This is your soul prompting you to activate a latent gift. These ups and downs are signals that your inner GPS is realigning itself to keep you on course with your true life plan. During this phase of sensitive retuning, it helps to dial down the external noise and amplify your inner listening. Outside commentary, whether news headlines, social media chatter, or even popular spiritual predictions, cannot keep pace with the guidance arising from within you now. We in the High Council gently recommend reducing the volume of incoming information and trusting your own felt sense more. A simple protocol for discernment is to consult your heart before accepting anything as truth. If you encounter a claim or prediction, pause for a moment. Place one hand over your heart, breathe deeply, and observe your body. Does your chest feel warm or your breath relax? That is a yes from your heart wisdom, a sign the information resonates as truth. If your stomach tightens or your breathing becomes shallow, take that as a no, an indicator of distortion or misalignment. This heart check practice, done regularly, will become an unfailing compass that guides you calmly through the swirling of collapsing narratives. You will be able to detect false urgency or fear-mongering immediately, recognizing it as nothing more than static from old systems scrambling to hold influence. Remember, sovereignty of consciousness means you choose what energies and ideas enter your field. By month's end, those who consistently honor their own resonance will be anchored in a calm so deep that merely their presence will soothe others. The centered peace you cultivate will be so evident that it recalibrates the energy of any space you enter without a word spoken. At the collective level, humanity is reaching a milestone that is cause for celebration. For the first time in ages, more humans now lean into hope and luminous possibilities than into fear and despair. The balance is truly tipping toward light, and attempts by certain forces to stir up mass panic are failing in a way they never did before. The nature of awakened light is much like water in a desert. Even a single drop of genuine love or truth can create an oasis that grows and spreads. Each time one of you embraces a loving insight, performs a neighborly kindness, or even whispers a small thank you to the universe, it adds tangible power, like electrical charge, into Earth's energy grid. Enough of these bright drops, and the outdated programs of fear and division simply short-circuit. You might not see it immediately on the news, but energetically, these positive moments are causing old oppressive structures to quietly erode. To take part in this collective upliftment, treat every encounter with negativity, whether arising in another person or within yourself, as an opportunity to recode the hologram rather than feed the fear. When you face unkind or hostile behavior, strive to look beyond the mask of that moment and acknowledge the spark of light still present in the other soul. Often a person acting out of anger or cruelty has simply lost touch with their own inner light and is unconsciously crying out for it. In such moments, you can silently affirm, "I see your divine spark. I know your true light is in there." By recognizing the hidden light in someone, even if they cannot see it themselves, you help call it forward. Then choose to respond from that knowing. Reply to harsh words with compassion or calm. Extend forgiveness or understanding where others might retaliate. Perhaps offer help or a blessing where it's least expected. These small acts of grace generate coherent waves of love in the energy field that travel farther and do more good than any loud argument. In fact, one genuine gesture of compassion creates a ripple effect that can uplift consciousness more powerfully than 1,000 fear-based broadcasts. When enough of you consistently meet darkness with gentle light, the very foundations of separation and conflict will lose their grip on humanity. The frequency of division cannot maintain itself in a world being steadily nourished by such empathy and unity. As more people choose flow instead of force, and curiosity instead of judgment, the old linear experience of time starts to loosen. In practical terms, you might have days in July that seem to warp or bend. For instance, a project that once took weeks might suddenly complete in a single afternoon, or a wonderful conversation might stretch on and on with no one glancing at the clock. You may also find that when you are fully absorbed in the present, external time magically accommodates you. Deadlines shift in your favor, or you arrive at appointments at the perfect moment without rushing. Rather than worrying about these oddities, we encourage you to surf the synchronicity. Each dawn, set a gentle intention such as, "Show me how I can best serve today," then allow the day to arrange itself. Follow the natural pulls of your excitement and intuition as much as circumstances allow. You will find that what truly needs doing will get done smoothly, often in ways that feel almost effortless, as if unseen hands were helping to organize your schedule. This is excellent rehearsal for living in a more fluid reality where time is not a strict ruler, but a cooperative element of creation. In the emerging new earth, opportunities and ideas can line up in an instant. You may conduct meetings through telepathy or dream interactions, and travel could occur via quantum leaps rather than long drives or flights. By learning now to ride the rhythm of the present moment, you are training your consciousness for these non-linear modes of life. Trusting in divine timing will prevent future shock and help you transition into fourth and fifth dimensional life with grace and ease. Thus, the #1 mission for all Starseeds this July is astonishingly simple. Pause often, breathe with intention, and allow your inner silence to expand. In that stillness, your vibration rises and your heart's signal strengthens. From this centered state flows everything else your world needs: accurate intuition, compassionate choices, innovative solutions to old dilemmas, and more. A few mindful breaths, taken by many, may not seem revolutionary, yet this is exactly how you lay the energetic groundwork for an enlightened civilization. In fact, in the grand story of Earth, this very month may be remembered as the moment humanity realized that true planetary transformation begins with a single, conscious inhale and exhale. We urge you to practice this and embody it. Spread this truth by your example. Let others witness your calm and curiosity in the face of chaos. The future you seek is not far away. Its wings are already beating within your chest. Every calm breath you take feeds the field of possibility and draws those future realities closer into the now. Let us speak of the paradox of grace and effort. Even when divine grace is flowing, there remains a role for human action. But this action may be different than you expect. An old sacred tale makes the point. When a certain holy child was born, his family launched no public campaign to announce him. Yet wise visitors bearing gifts still found their way to the manger by providence. However, the child's earthly father still went on diligently working with wood, and the mother still nursed the infant through long, sleepless nights. The lesson is that spiritual grace does not eliminate the need for effort. It simply redirects effort to where it truly matters. In this time of intensifying grace on earth, you as starseeds are guided to shift your efforts away from external pushing and convincing and toward deep inner craftsmanship. This inner craftsmanship is the conscious shaping of your perspective. It means you refuse to indulge thoughts that you are less than or better than anyone else, and instead carve out space in your mind to recognize that every person you encounter carries a spark of the same divine source. Put simply, each passerby is harboring a piece of the cosmic ember, whether they know it or not. Practicing this recognition can be very simple in daily life. It might mean greeting a supermarket cashier or a stranger on the street while quietly acknowledging the light in them. It means that when you face hostility, an angry driver, a harsh comment online, you take a breath and respond with unexpected gentleness, or at least refrain from escalating the negativity. You could even think to yourself in that moment, "I see the divine in you, and I won't forget it." It also means stepping away from gossip or judgmental talk, knowing that those habits pollute the shared field that we all feel. These humble moves, these micro acts of love and respect, are in fact your modern-day gold, frankincense, and myrrh, little sacred gifts offered to the Christ light within others. Over time, these offerings begin to repattern the entire energetic lattice of human society. Bit by bit, the default tone of our collective shifts from competition and cynicism toward caring and unity. If you had clairvoyant eyes, you would see that every compassionate choice you make releases a stream of pure light into the planetary grid. Often it appears as a cobalt blue filament lighting up within Earth's energy web, strengthening channels through which higher divine solutions can flow. Many of the advanced creations your world longs for, free energy, restored ecosystems, healing technologies, exist in a higher frequency range and need a harmonious grid to anchor into. With each kind word and each act of empathy, you are literally building that grid of harmony. Your quiet integrity is laying the groundwork upon which miraculous innovations will land and make themselves at home in our world. Now, be aware that not everyone welcomes the rising light. There are old forces and institutions built on control and profit that feel threatened by this shift in human consciousness. In the biblical story we mentioned, a fearful ruler wanted to eliminate an infant he saw as a future competitor. In modern times, certain power structures react with similar fear whenever fresh awareness and freedom begin to blossom among the people. They worry their authority or profits will be undermined by the newborn spirit of awakening. As a result, you may also notice an uptick in manufactured fear signals this month. For example, news outlets might dramatically amplify stories of conflict or scarcity. Corporations or governments may issue dire warnings about shortages or instability, and your online algorithms might suddenly push more doom and gloom content. July's high incoming frequencies actually flush out these fear patterns into the open, making them more obvious than ever. Your assignment is not to fight these fear projections head-on, but to see through their insubstantial nature. Train yourself to treat them like holograms, empty images that cannot truly touch your inner light unless you invite them in. Whenever you sense that a media story, or even someone's words are trying to hook your anxiety or anger, practice what we call a form of dynamic nullification. In practical terms, imagine a transparent shield or screen sliding up between your heart and the incoming fear stimulus. As it attempts to penetrate, calmly declare in your mind something like, This energy finds no home here. You can choose any phrase that resonates. The essence is to tell your body and the universe that this fear vibration does not match you, so it cannot take hold in your field. You might simply say firmly, "Not mine," as you visualize the fear bouncing off your clear shield. This intentional act tells the quantum realm that the signal has nowhere to land in your consciousness, and thus it dissipates. If thousands of starseeds perform this move consistently, the collective fear signal loses amplitude until it falls below a functional threshold. Top-down agendas that rely on public panic then fizzle out, starved of the emotional energy they require to materialize. Understand that this is not ignorance or avoidance. It is a form of spiritual aikido, where you redirect and neutralize the negative force rather than absorbing it. By refusing to invest your life force in drama and dread, you conserve your energy for creative and constructive endeavors, accelerating the positive transformation of your world. Throughout spiritual history, there is a recurring theme: making a symbolic gesture to affirm one's covenant with the divine. In ancient tales, we hear of elders offering their finest goods to a high priest in thanks, of wise sages kneeling before a holy newborn, or of disciples publicly declaring their teacher as a divine anointed one. These acts were not about the physical items or words themselves, but about the devotion and recognition behind them. In the same way, the energies of July are inviting each of you, especially the old souls and Starseed veterans among you, to create your own personal gesture of commitment to your inner divinity. This need not be anything grandiose, it only needs to be genuine. For one person, it might be as ambitious as constructing a little stone altar or sacred circle in your garden under the stars. For another, it could be as simple as plucking a single wildflower and placing it on your windowsill each morning as an offering to the divine within. The power of a symbolic gesture lies not in its form, but in the heartfelt intention it carries. When your action arises spontaneously from true love or reverence, unscripted and not performed for anyone else's approval, it sends out a clear energetic signal into the quantum field. It is like a spiritual scent or signature that gets picked up by the benevolent intelligences who watch over humanity's evolution. Our off-world family and higher dimensional guides recognize that signal as an indication. This human is consciously partnering in their own transformation. In response, they are often permitted, in line with cosmic law, to step in closer. Don't be surprised if a sincere act of devotion on your part is followed by a vivid spiritual dream, an intuitive message whispered in your mind during waking hours, or even gentle tingles or flickers of light around your body. Small signs that your gesture has been received and that new alignments are opening up for you. By contrast, an attempted gesture done out of obligation, showiness, or a fear of missing out will not carry this pure frequency. The universe only responds to sincerity. Authenticity is the one and only access code that unlocks deeper communion. So whatever gesture you choose, and you will know it when it arises from your heart, let it be true, and it will be enough. Another important lesson this month is about the true nature of grace. The flow of divine grace does not discriminate based on human notions of virtue or vice. It pours freely wherever it finds an open channel. In truth, a person who has made many mistakes can experience sudden enlightenment if their heart yields in sincere openness, while someone who has been outwardly pious for years might still feel estranged from spirit if they are closed off by pride or judgment. What tips the scales in receiving grace is not how perfect you are, but how willing and unguarded you are in the present moment. How wholeheartedly you can say yes to the love of the universe. The intense photonic waves of July will illuminate any subtle bargains or conditions your ego has tried to place on grace. You may catch yourself thinking thoughts like, "I've been meditating so much. Surely I deserve my reward now." Or, "I'll forgive that person, but only after they apologize to me." When little mental deals like these float up, don't judge yourself harshly. Instead, chuckle at the ego's attempt to negotiate with the divine and gently release the expectation. You can even replace those thoughts with a simple mantra that reminds you of the truth. One effective affirmation is, "Grace is ancient and unconditional. It is older than anything I have ever done." In other words, the blessings of spirit are not earned by a resume of good deeds, nor retracted for past missteps. They have always been flowing, and we only need to unblock our acceptance of them. Try murmuring such reminders to yourself during mundane tasks, washing dishes, walking the dog, and feel how the burden of earning love starts to lift. When grace is allowed to flow freely through you, amazing things happen as a natural consequence. Long-held tensions or old emotional wounds may dissolve. The so-called junk DNA in your cells comes alive with dormant codes. You might notice physical healing accelerating, your sleep patterns balancing, or intuitive abilities awakening in flashes. These shifts are not prizes or merit badges. They are the organic result of you becoming receptive, just as flowers will automatically bloom along a riverbank once the debris is cleared and the water reaches them. A further insight we offer in this energy transmission is that every storm you experience in life is, at its core, internally generated. External crises and conflicts are often like passing weather clouds in your personal sky. They have no objective reality or permanence except what you give them. July will offer plenty of chances to experiment with this concept. You might find yourself in the midst of what looks like a chaotic situation. Perhaps a political shouting match erupts on television, family drama flares up, or an unexpected bill arrives out of nowhere. In those moments, try treating the turmoil as if it were a brief rain shower moving through your awareness rather than a fixed disaster. Remind yourself that while the situation feels intense right now, it is local weather and it will pass. As soon as you label an upset as just weather, you begin to reclaim your power over it. To help the energy dissipate, you can use a simple grounding technique. Pause. Place one hand on your lower belly and take a slow, deep breath. Then exhale very slowly, longer than your inhale, until you feel your abdomen soften under your hand. Do this a few times, gently lengthening the exhale. This breathing signals to your body that you are safe. Next, consciously direct your attention to something neutral and present in your environment. Notice the hum of a fan in the background, the pattern of sunlight on the wall, or the sensation of your feet touching the floor. By anchoring awareness in a mundane sensory detail, you draw your mind away from the whirling story of the problem. Practice this sequence until your body truly begins to believe that peace is your default state and not merely an emergency fallback option. Developing this micro skill provides a crucial ground wire for the high energies of July. It prevents the cosmic voltage from frying your circuits with stress, and instead allows that energy to be channeled into inspiration. With your system grounded and calm, the extra charge can fuel creative projects, community improvements, or even bold new directions in your life's work that seemed impossible before. Finally, keep in mind that everything you cultivate within yourself now is also a precious gift to the future of humanity. You are part of an evolutionary relay race of consciousness. Each breakthrough you make, each fear you overcome, each truth you embody, shortens the learning curve for those who come after you. The expansions you achieve in July will serve as sky bridges for the children of the next decade. Many of these young ones, arriving now and in the coming months and years, will never have to struggle with the same doubts and limitations that you did. Because of the paths you are blazing now, they will innately know their worth, trust their intuition, and live in abundance consciousness from the start. Whenever you feel weary on your journey, remember this lineage aspect. You are clearing and lighting up frequency pathways, not only for yourself, but for millions of souls who will sprint onward thanks to your groundwork. Let this knowledge transmute any lingering fatigue into sacred resolve. As a simple act to anchor this intention, you may wish to end each day with a brief visualization. Close your eyes and imagine a translucent ribbon of light extending from your heart into the future, reaching out to touch an unborn child, a grandchild, or godchild, or simply the idea of a future friend you haven't met. See this ribbon carrying all the love and wisdom you've gained, and whisper softly, "I widen the path for you." Envision the ribbon glowing with gentle rainbow colors as it strengthens the connection between you and the future. Then release it and let it fly into the night sky. This little 8-second ritual plants continuity codes into the planetary field, a promise that the progress you make today will blossom in generations to come, aiding a gentle rebirth of society built on love. In summary, the Master Directive for July is elegantly simple yet immensely powerful. Create and protect your inner sacred space so that your cosmic ember, the divine spark within you, can rest, grow, and shine without interference. By devoting yourself to this inner sanctuary, everything else will naturally fall into place. From that centered stillness flows all blessings, clarity and provision for your needs, bravery and compassion in your actions, freedom from time's constraints, and even the upliftment of future generations. So let the outer world buzz and storm if it must. You will be tending the calm hush at the center of the cyclone, where your newborn light softly coos. In that quiet center, you become a silent signal, calling out to wise hearts across the cosmos. Sit in that silence each day, and know that all of creation is listening with love. We of the Pleiadian High Council watch over you with immense love and pride. You travel this journey with our light ever at your side. Keep your heart open and your spirit calm. Thank you for all that you are and all that you do for this world. We love you beyond measure. I am Mira of the Pleiadian High Council, and I offer you these insights with all my heart.